I talk about false Christianity a lot. And the reason is because a lot of these churches exist in our country today and are leading people astray. So there's a video that surfaced about a pastor that is a lesbian, definitely looks like one for sure, that is basically kicking these kids out of her church because they have a shirt that literally says Jesus loves you. I mean, it doesn't get more simplistic than that. So we're going to check this out and go through exactly what is going on in this video.
You wear a Jesus love you shirt and get kicked out of a pride festival. That's what happens.
So first of all, let's look at this church. I mean, look at the decorations here. So you have these streamers from the top that are all rainbow colored, and then there's this rainbow colored backdrop thing around here as well. So clearly this is not your standard church. If you show up to a church like this, and this is what you see when you walk through the doors, probably a good idea to turn around.
I'm a pastor. Of course I believe in healing brokenness, but you will never hear about shame, judgment, or even sin.
I mean, guys, wait, hold up. What? Wait, I think we need to listen to that again. So apparently this is the pastor here. I mean, once again, this is another red flag. It's pretty clear, right? And I guess this is in New Braunfels, Texas. And so this is already bad because what she says out of the gate is, well, I believe in brokenness. Okay, you know, maybe we can, you know, work on something from there. But then she goes right into
healing brokenness, but you will never hear about shame, judgment, or even sin.
So no sin, no shame, no judgment. How can you possibly heal brokenness if you can't identify what broken is, which is what sin is? If you know what I mean, like those things go hand in hand. And a lot of the reason why people are not going to continue in sin is because they're ashamed of what they did. And that means, and all of this is because of the fact that we are going to be judged eventually, you know, and this is crazy because she's basically cut everything out. And how in the world can you possibly talk about this? And really what it is that she's, you know, clearly trying to pick the issues she wants to deal with. You know, well, you know, maybe we can work on being a better person so you can be nicer. But don't you dare talk about being a lesbian. Don't you dare bring up these other issues. So this is the person that we're dealing with right here. So this is the rest of the clip from the actual kids that were showing up in the church.
At this church.
So it looks like they were applauding, like the people in the church were applauding for kicking these people out, by the way. Yeah, you can see all the rainbow colored stuff.
Your name again? I'm sorry. Mason. Carla. It's a pleasure.
JP.
So are y'all here as supporters, JP? Because I have a concern that y'all aren't.
Oh, we're just neutral. We're just checking it out, just talking to people.
Yeah, so the recording, some people have been doing that to try to get clips, like what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
To try to get clips of us saying something. So it's uncomfortable for people because it doesn't feel like you're in it. And so we want people here as supporters. And for those that even...
Basically, anybody that even might disagree or will expose these people for what they're doing. I mean, guys, listen, think about this. If you're in a church and you're doing this, why are you so afraid of somebody filming what's happening? Clearly, you know good and well that people disagree with what's happening. And they know that what they're doing is not popular. They know that they're, you know, people are going to speak out against this stuff that's happening in their church. That's why they don't want this to happen. They, you know, talking about, well, we don't talk about shame here. Well, clearly they're ashamed of whatever they're doing because they don't want it to be displayed to the public.
That's fine, but I'm going to ask that y'all do this someplace else and not here.
Well, so, can I ask a question? Is that cool?
Quickly, because I've got to get back in.
No, yeah, I just have a question. So when it comes to like
what is that?
What you guys do, like, what would be the problem of just like documenting it?
So
like not because we're not bashing it, we're not holding signs. Like
I hear you. And this right here, it's just concerned. It's just makes people uncomfortable. And this is for folks. So I'm going to ask y'all again. But I need y'all to be the property. That's the second time, gentlemen, that I'm asking you to be the property, please.
Well, I was
y'all
just
so much.
I was just wondering what was the issue exactly.
Okay, so
it's just
they don't
obvious
have to
that
explain
y'all.
themselves.
It's obvious that y'all are not here as supporters, and so if you're
How
not,
so?
that's fine.
What's the
but
obvious
we would
part,
like
honestly?
to be, guys. I'm not no more.
No, ma'am, I'm just
If
asking.
you're really gracious, you would say. Hey,
No, we're just asking
I really
like
think
what did I exemplify or do or say that would make you think we're not?
I mean, the only thing they did was that they showed up in not some ridiculous pride shirt and looking like whatever that thing was that passed by walking in the building.
Get back in.
Conversation, you go
Thank
back
you,
in. At this point, though, she's with the church leadership. She asked you to leave, so you're criminally trespassing. So we'll have to advise her to leave.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay.
How we going? This is what happens when truth leaves society.
I mean, look at this sign here, right? Like, in the church, we believe Black Lives Matter, all this stuff. Science is real. I hate this. This is that like love is love type sign that people were putting in their yards a few years ago, and it's complete lies. Like all of these statements sound good if you're completely ignorant to what they actually mean, because we all know that somebody stating Black Lives Matter literally is to say, well, we believe that the whole system is rigged against black people and blah 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 blah. Like, come on, guys, that's not what is actually happening, but that's what they believe is the case, and that's what they mean when they say that. Or they say, well, science is real. Well, they're like, okay, cool, what do you mean by that? Well, they're talking about COVID, they're talking about all the things that had to deal with that, and them just following the CDC no matter what they were saying and telling everybody to do during that period of time. So it's crazy that this is a sign legitimately hanging outside of this church on a fence. Like, that's wild, right? And these people, of course, love to use the police as the fighting force when this is happening, right? When somebody's trespassing that they don't like, but they're the first ones that are talking about defund the police and everything else. I mean, come on. Like, they're talking about trans lives being in danger because of this stuff. So kind of ridiculous to see them doing that.
Chaos ensued. You wear a Jesus love you shirt and you get kicked out of a pride festival. That's what happened. Hey, thank you guys for what you do. I know most of you guys probably don't believe in this crap, but it's okay. You guys just doing your job. It's all good. Jesus loves you guys. Jesus loves you, bro.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, and you can see how many cops they have here, because I think the church even knows that this is what's going on. This is what, people are not going to like this. They know what they're doing is wrong. And granted, right, there's a freedom of religion in the country, but we still have to call this stuff out, right? You know what I mean? Everything that they believe is basically trying to meld left-wing politics with the church and trying to pretend as if these things go hand in hand when they literally are like oil and water. They don't mix. They just don't. And they refuse to realize that. So I love this one here. The devil is not fighting religion. He's too smart for that. He is producing a counterfeit Christianity, so much like the real one that good Christians are afraid to speak out against it. Now, granted, I would argue that the Christianity that we were seeing there, which is not Christianity at all, is a pretty far-fetched from being close to Christianity or counterfeit Christianity. That is a blatant heresy right there. I mean, there's no way that we can see that as anything else. However, there are things when we're talking about things like this, or this, not talking about sin, that are creeping into the modern day church that would be a counterfeit Christianity, where maybe they don't talk about sin, or they kind of glaze over it. They don't want to offend anybody. And that is kind of what's creeping into the church as a whole, and much more popular than, say, them doing a straight up pride parade in the church. So a pastor who bans Jesus shirts and won't talk about sin isn't leading a church. She's running a feelings club with a cross on the wall. This is what happens when woke replaces worship. And, this is more accurate, right? Like the fact that they simply showed up and not the whole attire that they would expect people to show up for or with on. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to basically create this false religion that somehow is left wing, but yay, we believe in God. And they're stripping out everything. I doubt there's even a Bible in this church. And if there is, it's probably some crazy redacted version of it. She isn't a pastor, and that's not a church. Accurate, completely accurate. It's just not a church at this point. How can it possibly be? So this tweet pointing out the difference between TPUSA and this woke church, and basically mentioning that TPUSA and Charlie Kirk allowed people in. They wanted conversation and debate, and this church and this woman they're trying to kick these people out. They don't want anything to do with it, and I think it's because of the fact that they know they have a losing argument. They know that they have no way of doing this, and like the earlier tweet mentioned, it's a feelings center, and so anybody that's in there that doesn't fit the aesthetic is not going to be allowed in. So somebody found a brochure for this or a pride event that's happening in the same city that this church was in, by the way. And this is the church. So look at what's going on here. Look at these images. Look at what they're doing for this pride festival or whatever it is. And then look at the fact that the sponsor's right here. Faith Church sitting right there on this banner, dead smack in the center of it. It doesn't get more obvious that this is what they're involved in. Like, how can you possibly support this level of degeneracy when you actually believe in God? I don't understand that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole church situation and being kicked out for that. Were they well within their rights to do so? Let me know what you guys think. I think it's crazy, and I think that is not even a church. You can't call that a church at all. It's a complete waste of time for them to be sitting here trying to basically blaspheme the church and God and everything that the Bible says. It's just completely false in every way. Remember to like this video and to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.